Moshpit Passion, you know, for the passion of the music.
Hello fans of Moshpit Passion, my name is Kaio. Right next to me Frédéric, he's playing in a lot of bands, but today we are here to talk about his new band, I hope I pronounce it right, AMAHIRU?
Yeah, I mean there's no right way to pronounce it, because it just comes from a dream I had, but yeah, but you win, yes. Okay.
Yeah, you more or less answered my first question, because
that's what I figured, so that's why I stopped. I was like,
all good, man. Yeah, the name based originally on a dream you had, and the number 13 was also very important with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, okay, it wasn't that important. Okay, so to make a long story short, it's not that interesting, but we were trying to find a name, and I had this dream, and someone was asking SAKI and I to sign a contract, and there was a number like the 13th of September or something, and I remember the date, and the name of the band was AMAHIRU, and with an H, I believe. It's been a while. It was like last year, right? And so I woke up and I was like, strange, you know. And then I figured AMAHIRU, if the way Japanese people oh my god, this is complicated, it's very annoying, sorry. I just made the way it would be pronounced in Japanese or written would be AMAHIRU. So then I checked on the internet if that existed at all. And apparently AMAHIRU means 13 in Basquian, which I don't speak. So I was like, okay, 13 September, this is cool. And the name doesn't mean anything. I think you can, if you're Japanese, you can sort of like split the word in two and it means something like beautiful sunset. No, I don't know, but so, I mean, and the name sounded cool. So, and it's cool because people think because SAKI is there, she came up with like something that means something in Japanese, but absolutely not. So there you go.
So for those who don't know, SAKI, she's from Mary's Blood. It's a band from Japan.
You don't know yourself because you had to look at it. She's from...
Yeah, it was the name, Mary's Blood.
Yeah.
Because I know she's from Japan, but she's playing in Mary's Blood, and she's also your co-member, you can say, in the band. What I found interesting, you... how can I say, collaborated with also a lot of musicians. I think for me, most famous one is Mike Heller on drums, because he's playing in Fear Factory, but also, Coen Janssen, Epica is playing keys, he's from Netherlands, and you got the voice Mike, no, not Mike Heller, it's Archie Wilson from United Kingdom, and you have all different, how do you say, you live in all different kind of countries.
Yes.
So if you think forward when it comes to touring, how would you, let me say, solve that? Because everybody has to fly somewhere. Do you have ever thought about that?
Yeah, well, I mean, right now touring is not a problem, so that's cool. But the band is more, it's really about SAKI and I. So it's like, imagine, you know the band Cacophony? Yeah. You know, not that I'm saying I'm just as good as Marty Friedman or Jason Becker, but that's what it is. It's like a duo, and then I asked friends, for collaboration. So Coen, we toured together, and we're just like good friends. So I said, and I know he's very good. So I wanted to have the best musicians, and same with Mike. I mean, he was in Japan while I was there working on the song. So I just here's the story. Basically, we were supposed to record the album with Sean Reinert, who was a friend of mine as well. We toured together back in 2009. Sean Reinert was from the band Cynic, and he played with Death. And so he was going to do the drums. And we had like a tight schedule, so we finished recording, we finished writing the songs, and we needed to go straight into recording sessions. And he was busy moving houses, which is what I'm experiencing right now, so I understand exactly. And he wrote back and he said, "I'm sorry, friend, I cannot do it. I've done one song. You can use it if you want." And I was like, "Okay, well, too bad. I need to find someone else. Thanks, Sean. I keep the song and I can use it as a bonus." And so I was like, okay, who can I ask now that's good and fast? And I was like, hey, Mike was in Japan, so I sent him a message, and then, and then unfortunately Sean passed away and I thought it'd be nice to have his song, his version of the song on the album rather than just as a bonus. So I contacted his husband, and he gave us permission to do so. So that's why you have the song "Bring Me Down" twice on the album. You've got the studio version, which originally was supposed to be there, and then we just used that demo version, which is slightly different, and obviously it's like a little high to Sean.
Yeah. So when you, let me say, moved or went to vacation to Japan and you worked on the songs?
No vacation, it was just work.
Was for work?
No, it's always vacation there.
So you did, you and SAKI, you worked on the songs, and of course, I guess you sent back and forth the tracks for drums, for keyboards, etc., and also vocals. So you and SAKI, we've been all the time together, I guess, when it comes to songwriting. And
yeah, more or less. We decided on the project together with the Japanese label maybe a year before recording. That was right before I was going on tour with SINSAENUM. So that was August or September 2018. So I went on tour. We did like a half the world tour. So we started in France and when finished in New Zealand. Then I came back and then I started to work on some songs. And then I figured that it'd be better if instead of me writing on on my own and SAKI writing on her own, it'd be better if we could collaborate. And so that's what we did. So that's why I flew to Japan and spent 3 weeks in Tokyo working on the album. And that was actually, I didn't realize at first, but that was one of my dreams to write an album in Japan. I always said, that'd be great if I could go to Japan, get a hotel room, be on my own, and write some music. And then I was there, and then I realized, I'm like, hey, hold on, that's exactly what I'm doing right now. I am writing an album, while being in Japan. So that was cool. And then then we send, as we were finalizing the songs with SAKI, we would send them to first to Sean and then to Mike and then Coen and then Archie as well. Yeah.
Nice. What I can hear on the record, each song stands for itself musically, which I mean it's very how can I say it? Not divided. It's every song is an own chapter for me, it's an own story musically, and you can also hear, of course, the influences from Asian, Japan, also the instrument. What is for you so fascinating about that country that you put also these elements into your music? It's true, because not most of the elements from that sound Asian are actually coming from me, and SAKI would be the judge of this and be like, this is okay, or this is too much, because for her, being Japanese, she would be more inclined to come up with Western sort of riffs, whereas I would be. So that was quite the opposite. Just like the name of the band, you would think it's coming from her, but So my love for Japan is I don't know. I guess just like every French person from my generation. There was a lot of Japanese animes on TV, the video games. So I guess part of my, the fact that I'm being a sort of nerd, did help. But I always had that sort of fascination for Japan, regardless, not just the nerdy stuff, the culture, I don't know, the samurais, whatever and when I went there the first time with Dragon Force, that was in 2005. I had a Japanese friend when I was living in Germany years ago, and I was just like, tell me more about Japan. His name is Masa, and so when I went there for the first time, I was not disappointed. Sometimes you build you have an image, and then you go there and just like but it was actually even better than what I imagined. So I made a point of going back to this country every year, at least once a year since then, and I did. And so to me, doing AMAHIRU again, it's like a dream come true, because it's country that I love a lot. What I found interesting, also what you stated is about the Western elements, because for me the first part of the record is what I consider as modern metal. It got a taste of Disturbed and Five Finger Death Punch, so very powerful metal, straightforward, and then it comes the hard rock element, and also, like I said before, all the different styles is very interesting. And your front singer, Archie Wilson, how did you found them? Because I couldn't find anything on him on the internet.
We met through mutual friends, and his voice was just like, you know, I didn't say anything, but it was like, wow, he's a great singer. Wow, that'd be great to do something with him. And so with SAKI, we had someone else in mind at first. And then the more we were listening to the songs and the way it was developing, I was like, you know, I don't think it's going to work. We need to find someone, I don't know, with like a deep voice, someone that's more versatile, and then that can, you know, modern, but not, I mean, the voice is not modern, it just like fits the time. But like something more masculine, if you will. And I was like, wait, I've got this guy, Archie, and we sent the song. The first one he tried was Bringing Me Down. And he just sent it back like a couple of days after, perhaps, and we were like, okay, that's it. We were at the label in Japan, and we were just like, okay, that's the guy we would like to work with. What do you guys think? And they were like, yes, okay. So that's how it went. I think he's phenomenal. He's an amazing singer. And as for what you were saying about the style, Disturbed, I see it because he's got like a voice that sounds a bit like this, and also I love the band. I'm friends with the guys for quite a while now, so you know, so that's cool if you're saying that. Five Finger Death Punch, not so much, but I guess maybe it's in the same category in the end. But about the order of the song, I don't think we went for like a side that's modern and then the second side, so maybe it's just unintentional, but we were trying to basically just like mix everything, like a nice balance. That's
also what I wanted to say about the styles and elements. We have some hard rock elements there, classic metal elements, and not like chapter wise. You know, also what you said, the balance, that's the say right word for what I wanted to say. So balance is the right word. So very interesting mixture.
I mean, I was just, there was no at the time I was still with Dragon Force, and I guess the song that I was writing for Dragon Force, I did like most of the songs of the album called Reaching into Infinity, and I guess it was a sort of departure from the old style, and that's more, if you listen to Reaching into Infinity, I guess there's a connection between this and AMAHIRU, because I'm not into like the 200 BPM fast song, you know. I'm more like, I come from like a more, you know, hard rock melodic background, and so and I could tell that the band was going back to the roots of Dragon Force. So in a way, all these songs that are on AMAHIRU is also stuff that I would, you know, that I had in me, but would never be able to use for Dragon Force or anything else, you know, because I've got, you know, so I had Dragon Force, I've got SINSAENUM, I have Long Blast, Kreator now. So I like to, you know, I love not just one style of music. In AMAHIRU is definitely the expression of, because I would try to write stuff like this for Dragon Force, but obviously within the limitation of this being Dragon Force, which means it has to be like fast solos, or it has to be you know. And with AMAHIRU, it's just like, that's me expressing myself together with SAKI, but without any limitation of just like, oh, it has to be 200 BPM, you know, or it has to talk about dragons. So so that's why it's that way. I forgot what I wanted to say, but that was my explanation.
What I found interesting is you playing bass, guitar, and also producing stuff. But what do you like most to do? You could decide.
Well, it depends on the day. It depends on the day. I like playing guitar the most, because that's what I always say, is the instrument that I can really express myself with. But with that being said, it doesn't really matter to me as much as it did when I joined Dragon Force. I was playing bass, and I felt like I was like a frustrated guitar player. You know, I was like, oh, I really want to play guitar, and this is not my instrument. And I was just like sort of love and hate relationship with the instrument. It's like, this is cool, but I can do so much more. I felt, you know, whatever. It's just, and because I was still young, and now getting a little older, I don't really have anything to prove, and I think bass is a really cool instrument, and so I'm happy to play bass. I'm happy to play music, and I'm happy to do music. I mean, obviously with all the stuff that I'm releasing, you know, it's not like I don't really do a lot of like social media appearances. I have Instagram and I post crap, but I don't really like push myself so much as because you could think
things like
I mean because you could think, oh, it's releasing this and that and that and that, and it needs the attention. Not quite. I mean, when you write music and you release it, you need attention.
Sure.
But it's more like a way to express myself, and I'm very happy that I've got all these projects, all these bands right now. So it seems a lot.
Yeah, sure.
But you know, it's just like it's the consecration of many years of doing things, and now everything happens at the same time. So people are just like, calm down now. You just released one, and why do you need to release another 2 albums? But it's just that everything comes out at the same time. But yeah, so playing bass, playing guitar, producing, it's all very interesting. It's all very cool because it's music. So that's
What I found interesting for this record is the mixing. The responsible guy was Jens Borgren. He's also producer for and mixer for Kreator, Sepultura, Nuclear Blast, I guess Home producer or something like that. And so why did you send this to him, and why didn't you mix the record? Or
I'm not a good mixer. Simple. But also because I like working with him. I've worked with him for SINSAENUM and for DRAGONFORCE for 2 albums, and we just get along very well together, and I respect him as a musical mind. Not so much as a person. No, I'm joking. And I guess that SAKI also mentioned it straight away. Together with the label, they were like, "Oh, that'd be cool if Janssen." I was like, "Yeah, obviously, you know, he's a good friend of mine." So to us, when we started, it was already sort of clear that we wanted to work with Jens. So because he's got a great sense of how things are supposed to sound. So I produced the album in a sense that I was the one judge of saying this is too short, this is too long. And obviously now that I listen to the album, back, I go like sometimes I was listening to Lucky Star, the song with Elize, and Sammy was like, "Oh, you could have gone for another chorus." And part of me is like, "Yeah, you're right," but I don't want to admit it because now it's too late. But yeah, so I was the judge of that, which is nice and also horrible at the same time. But for the sound, it's better to have Jens, and he did a great job. It sounds great.
So for me, Jens Borgren and Ernie Fleetenkieker are the producers during, I think, of the last decade or something, because they established themselves in the metal scene, and they all started very, very, very small and gained up over the last decade. For instance, so many projects they released, so that's great to see. And also they're doing, let me say, smaller or newcomer bands. For instance, I know Ernie Fleetenkieker, you did the last Kreator thing. With him, he's producing a small punk band from the UK, so they have their connection and small playgrounds where they give smaller bands attention. Interesting.
Well, I guess that means that shows that they're still passionate about it, which is great. Because they could be just like, can't be asked, just gonna work with big bands. But no, they still have that passion, so that's cool.
And I want to talk about your new music video. You released last week the music videos for Hours.
Yes.
And I guess it was filmed before the Corona shutdown. Because I was like, you were in Japan, it can't be during the shutdown.
I've got my special entries. No, that was shot. I tell you what, that was shot in February. A week before we shot the video for 666 World Divided, and then the lockdown happened. So it was really like the timing of like. So that was that was shot, and the video is showing like a lot of images of Tokyo. But you you wanted to ask about the video, or
no, I was going to say there's also 2 layers. Is a story, and of course there's a performance layer with you, SAKI, and the band is performing in the background.
Yeah.
And nice story. We have to listen to the song and also to see the video. I don't want to spoil that, so you have to check it out.
Yes, check it out.
And put the link down in the description. And it's a great ear catcher. I know. I listened to this, I don't know, a couple of days, and I always got the melody in my head. It's like, it's like the German word is
Ohrwurm in German.
Ohrwurm, it's an Ohrwurm. I don't know the English translation, but how many
Earworm?
hours? Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah.
Great song about that.
Well, thank you.
Did this whole Corona thing had an impact on the release of it, or was it originally planned to say, hey, February we do a video, then we release it in fall?
No, it was supposed to be released earlier, but I think it's just everything just went like, it was a strange time. Everything just stopped. Yeah. So I believe the album was supposed to be. I don't really remember when it was supposed to be, but I think we were talking about we're gonna really. So then we're just waiting, like, okay, let's see how things go. So. So now it's released in November, but I mean, we could be sitting on it for another year and a half until we're really sure that. But because we've already been waiting a little while, so now it's cool to release it, and I think people need music like that because it's uplifting. So.
Definitely, because I saw on the internet that the first 100 signed copies were sold out during a couple of days or something like that. So it fits to the song. Song. I mean, that's great for a newcomer band during those circumstances to do that. And like I said, also it's a great promotion behind them. There's a need for music, and I wish you also all the best for the band, and maybe you want to talk about your bands and project, because you're playing so many, like Kreator, then you got AMAHIRU,
then I've got Loud Blast and SINSAENUM.
Right. I mean, for those who are watching and follow us, I can also say, I guess, about the Kreator thing is they are working on new music. It's coming next year, so there's nothing new, just to say you're working on new music.
I was going to say it myself. I'm here. Yeah. We are here right now, sitting in Essen, in Deutschland, Germany, and that's what we've been doing this summer. Just working on new songs, but that's it. There's not much to say about it. We're just working, and the vibe is great. Yeah. That's what matters the most. Yeah. So we you can follow, if you follow Miller on the internet or myself, you can tell that there's a good energy, and songs are great, and I'm a fan of the band, so I want something violent and evil, and so that's cool. That's great. So that's about it with Kreator. So to be continued. To be continued next year. I'm playing in a French death metal band called Loud Blast. It's one of the first, if not the first death metal band I heard when I was a kid. And Stéphane, the leader, the guitar player and singer, plays in SINSAENUM as well. Hope you're following. Hope you are as well. And I helped them back in 2016 to do a small tour in France. And since then, because it went so well, we're just like super friends, and it was really cool. So I was like, guys, if you need me, for your next album, and they were like, yeah. And so that's what happened. So we did record this during the Corona time, and it's coming out in November. I don't have the date, and same thing for the shows. I don't know. SINSAENUM, I am working on the album number 3. Which will, I believe, come out on Ear Music. Again, I don't know when. I mean, but the good thing, if there's a good thing about Corona, is that we can take our time, because there's no real pressure of like. So and also, I need a bit of time for myself, because I'm like, in between all these bands. But SINSAENUM, I'm planning on working on it. Comes November. Right now it's Kreator and obviously AMAHIRU and Loud Blast going on as well, so I'm waiting a little bit, and then I'm back on SINSAENUM for the 3rd album. And AMAHIRU, Just now, there's going to be another video coming soon.
Can you tell? Okay.
No, I can't. But there's and so the album is coming out. Do you have the date?
End of November, 27th November.
I believe so.
Friday, 7 November.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the last Friday in November. I know it's
27th. That's what I had in mind, but I didn't rehearse before the interview.
I guess I was listening to the record just before the interview.
Good.
I guess it was 27th. I guess.
Okay.
If not, I will show it right here when the new record is coming out.
So that means you're one of the only ones to have the album actually.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay. And so you like it? How much would you give it out of 10?
Out of 10. I don't give numbers like that. I give like school class notes.
Oh, like a German school class?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, and 1 is the best, 6 is the worst.
Okay.
Because I love this Asian element, I would give 2+. It's near 1.
Oh, geil. Okay, danke schön. Is it because
2+ is like close to 1, but no record for me has. 1 is perfect for me. It's a perfect Metallica Puppet of Master of Puppets. That's for me a 1. That's
okay.
The perfect metal record. But this one,
2+.
it's like 2, also 2, 2 plus. It's one of the best marks, definitely. But it's not for me a 3. It's not because 3 is solid, but for me it's not solid. There's more because we have melodies, we have different parts, and what I always like is when a heavy record is starting off with a banger, and we have the first 3 songs are very fast, very energy, and that's what I need. So I'm direct in, and that's for me a perfect start. And so the rate is always for me good high because I listen to heavy stuff, and for me it should like be a banger, the first songs, and all I can tell you out there, the new record has all kind of styles, heavy music, heavy metal styles. I can't describe it. Also, can't describe this is thrash metal, this is that. There are so many elements, and also what I really like during the last years, there are so many. I call it crossover records, not crossover like you think in the 90s.
Right.
Crossovers for me, like different elements, not sticking to one genre. And this record has everything. Because I'm a little bit tired of just listening to punk, just to hardcore, just to that. So this is very refreshing. Yes,
cool. Good. Thanks. So there you go. AMAHIRU 2+.
You hear it. And I see your time is running out. There's one question left because our magazine is called Moshpit Passion. Do we have maybe a moshpit experience which you can share, like your first moshpit, last moshpit, or if you see something like, dude, what is that? There's something really crazy happen.
So I have a bunch. I mean, I've seen when we played with Kreator in Chile last year, right about that time. Like I think it was my second show.
Yeah.
My first 2 shows with the band. We had like on Enemy of God. We had like I don't know. I don't want to go up with the number because it started at like 15. And like last time, it was just like we had 26. But I think we had. I think it was 16 or 17 mosh pits during the song. So that was really cool. Yeah. When I was with DRAGONFORCE, we asked them to do a slow motion circle pit at Download, which was cool. I've seen... my experience with mosh pits is like I wasn't really up for that. When I was a kid, I was more like... still now, I mean, I don't, don't really like... Just I want to enjoy my music. I think I did at Grass Pop in 1998. Obituary were playing, and I was with a friend of mine, and we just went like, shall we go to the front row? Okay, and we were like at the back of the crowd, and just went like, and ended up just there, like super happy. Maybe some stuff were missing. But usually I'm not a big fan of mosh pits. You would never find me in there.
So thank you very much for your time, for the interview. For you guys out there, check out the description below. You find all kind of links in there, like the new music video, pre-order links, also links to social media where you can support the band. Support is very welcome. Just like or follow them during those times. If you want to support the band, buy their record. I listened to it. It's very good, and you got an impression here. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.